the new Modus Super Series champion. Yes!
What a finish!
The silencer, Jeff Smith! And it is that shot wins week 6!
Maximum checkout.
He's done it!
Brian, you require
3-year anniversary recently moving into the building, and this could be a 167 for Brian Roman.
Brian Roman.
Absolutely, they were a bit more hard fought than I wanted. I got a lot of help from my opponents, and hopefully they do that again tomorrow.
Tops for the opening match,
Game
and
shot,
tops
and
is
the match,
found for
Alex
Alex Bellman right in the corner.
Now double two,
Game
which he
shot,
gets,
and the match,
and that
Barry.
seals a first.
Game shot in the second leg.
In
Ronan
fairness to
McDonough.
him, he's cleaned it up next visit, so there's not going to be any kind of lag on.
Game shot in the first leg. Jazz Barstow.
And it's throw on this finals night here as we look to see who's going to cross the finishing line. And I must stop because I've got a lump in my throat. Well, that's the Murray Walker impression done with for the night, and probably my P45 to boot. Welcome along to Friday night here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth as Group B comes to a close at the Modus Super Series, where it is the Belgian whippet Brian Roman that leads the way going into tonight's action. We're going to be watching it all in the company of Laura Turner. And last night it was quick fire, and it was really, really good, particularly from Brian, who was consistent throughout the course of the evening.
Yeah, he really was, wasn't he? He kind of, I think the key thing with Brian Roman as well, and his success last night, 4 out of 5 on the outer ring on 2 separate occasions. He just had a bit of everything last night. But I also thought he had a really measured performance. Sometimes we've accused him of being maybe a bit too emotional up on the stage, but kept everything in check and deserves to be at the top of the table.
Well, this afternoon we saw Group C come to a culmination, and it was Carl Wilkinson that put everybody to the sword. And the last 6 hours, we kind of said it yesterday, he's just getting better and better as a player, isn't he?
Yeah, and it was interesting to speak to him afterwards because he had to wait pretty much to the tail end of this afternoon's action to just confirm that he had that place. But he was nervous. He was edgy. We could see that in a couple of the performances, but just managed to hold it all together just to do enough to get across the line. But as he said today, it was all about getting into Saturday, and hopefully he can just go that next step.
Jason Brown had a very, very good Friday, and he was the one that was able to pinch that second position.
He was, because he came into this morning and this afternoon, and he was 3rd place. He had a little bit more work to do than Carl Wilkinson, but out of everyone today, I think we saw some of the best starts that we saw from him. He was really happy. The interview that he had afterwards was delightful. Honestly, we were all smiles. He was really pleased with how he played and how he performed, and the fact that he got better as the week had gone on.
Well, this is how the tournament bracket looks. Now, Stein de Klerk has been the story of the week so far. Winning Group A is a big outsider. His compatriot, Brian Roman, is looking to join him this evening, and he's top of Group B going into tonight's action. We can have a look at that table for you now. Him and Alex Spellman, the 2 players who dropped out of Group A, well, they had the run of it last night, both on 6 points. Kurt Parry and Ronan McDonough on 4. Chaz Barstow without a win on the opening night. And for Brian, as we said in the introduction, he just kept everything in check, and there was nothing that was too high, nothing that was too low. He looks like a player that's really moving in the right direction again.
Yeah, and he walks around the stage, doesn't he? Especially when he's playing well, with that air of confidence, and that's what we saw from him last night. And he, obviously, 6 points is 2 on 6 points, 2 on 4 points, as we just saw. So no one's completely safe. They've still got work to do, but Brian did look very confident.
Then we had Alex Spellman up here in the studio last night, and yes, he picked up 3 wins out of 4, but there was a feeling he wasn't overly enamoured in terms of his performances yesterday.
He's always looking for that next step, that bit of perfection. He gave quite an honest analysis that as soon as you reach a certain level, you kind of move the bar up again, and that's what you'll find with Alex Spellman. But the positive from that was he knows what he's doing wrong. He knows how to address it. And when he managed to do that, it's his body wants to do one thing and it wants to go up there and throw fast, whereas he wants to slow it down. And when he slowed it down, that's when we saw some of the very best.
Well, these are the stats from last night's play. As you can see, the doubling for Brian O'Man, 56% throughout the course of the session. But I want to go to the play in fourth position. Ronan McDonough, highest running average of the night. Okay, he's aided and abetted by the 106.74 that he got. But it felt like when it clicked, it really was clicking. But missed doubles did cost him a lot yesterday.
Yeah, he had a really slow start, lost those opening couple of matches, and as you say, I think one of the matches was 1 from 17 on the doubles, hence the low checkout percentage, around 22%. That third match where he hit the 106, it was almost born out of frustration because he'd missed so many, and then everything just started to relax and come into place. And I think when you lose that first two and then finish winning the last two, you can come into today feeling really positive that you've turned your night around.
Well, these are the odds for tonight. Alex Spellman goes off the favourite, 23-20, with the odds compiled. It's in agreement with what the bookies are saying this evening?
It's really hard, isn't it, to split who tops the group tonight between Alex and Brian, but I can't really disagree. And Chaz Barstow, there's so much that needs to go right, hence being 250-1, but he still may be able to find a way to qualify.
Well, it is 18+, gambleware.org. If you are going to have a flutter on the Super Series this evening, where every player is pushing for a spot through to the first finals night of the series. And if you want to be here for an autumnal darting affair or a little bit of a winter breeze here in Portsmouth, well, you can do exactly that here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. You can possibly tick something off the Christmas list. Yes, I said that word in September. Have a look at this link if you want to have a look and you want to be here on a Saturday night at the Live Lounge. So here we go then. Opening game of the night is a meeting between Alex Spellman and Chaz Barstow. The meeting between the pair last night. So Alex won off a 4-2 winner, which saw him on to 6 points following the end of the opening night's proceedings. So Chaz Barstow to make it through, well, you get the sense he's going to have a perfect evening this evening. 4 points off the pace in terms of qualifying through, just 8 points to play for throughout the course of this evening. And 8 points could be exactly what Spellman finds himself on if he wins this opening match. Let's find out a little bit more then about both players. Spellman, the 36-year-old from North Carolina in the United States, twice a semi-finalist here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Chaz Barstow's 46 years old. He's from Winchester. And he's looking to pick some points up. And, of course, points mean prizes. And the prize is Saturday night. Now, that man, he's got full authority on that stage. Whatever George Baker says goes.
Alex to
and the first thing he's going to say is Alex is going to throw first in the first leg of the first match. And Lord Turner alongside me in commentary throughout the course of the evening. I wonder how the man from the United States, Alex Spellman, is going to get on tonight.
Yeah, he did well enough. He's put himself in a really good position, winning 3 out of the 4 matches yesterday evening.
100.
It's Chaz Barstow that's got all the work to do. I agree with you. Nothing short of perfection, I think, is required. But he can turn his fortunes around, Barstow,
100.
in the first few games. He plays first and then doesn't have to wait long for his backup. He would be playing third.
57.
It's one of those scenarios which could either work out perfectly or work out horrendously for Chaz Barstow. It could be either the perfect storm for him in the respect of if he wins his first couple of games, he's bang in the mix,
41.
having played 2 of the first 3. But if it doesn't go to plan, then he's effectively out of the conversation for anybody else had a real good run of things this
96.
evening.
I think the general consensus backstage in the practice room is they're not expecting Chaz to not pick up any points tonight. So even if Chaz doesn't go through the card and maybe doesn't make it through, he's definitely got a role to play in this group still.
Yeah, he's in that position where he may not make it through, but he can stop somebody else from doing exactly that. He's not exactly the type of player that you want to be playing the spoiler role. Or maybe if you're hoping for a Chaz result, possibly, but... to a decent start in this opening leg, leaving himself on 114 for the break. If he doesn't get it, Spellman is looking at 87, and he's going to get a look at this to take the opening leg.
58. Alex, you require 87. Game shot in the first leg, Alex Spellman.
87 in 3 on the ball, and you can already see that real methodical approach that Spellman is trying to employ. We mentioned it at the top of the show, and it's something that he's really worked on because he knows that if he can just maintain the kind of consistent pace that he's trying to achieve, then it is conducive for the best starts from him.
Yeah, this is very much a part of the bigger plan for Alex Spellman. He was saying in the studio to us, wasn't he, last night, that yes, results are great, but for him, he called it like a chef's cookbook, didn't he? That he feels like he's got to perfect this recipe, and this recipe that's going to give him success. There's a due process he wants to go through to give him the most conducive way of picking up results and the most conducive way of putting in good performances, and that's the way he's got to look at it.
100. $60.
3 well thrown darts, but no treble found for Spellman.
Well, that's more like it for Chaz. Had 3 180s throughout the course of his night yesterday, did Barstow. But I suppose the one thing that kind of surprised me is having a look at his highest average, 87.3. That was as good as it got for Chaz. He's somebody that we've seen punching 3-figure averages on many an occasion here. This to level the game up at 1 apiece. 1 dart at tops doesn't go. And he hopes that Spellman hasn't got a spell-binding finish up his sleeve. Oh, he could.
129.
So that double 12's pulled inside.
Chaz, you require 20.
Just the wrong side of the wire, and I think Chaz thought that one was in. And
16.
From so close to so far for Chaz Barstow.
And so Spellman 3 in hand here, a double 6 for the break and a 2-net advantage in the contest. Heading down for double 3, heading down to the trap door.
6.
Which he could find himself found in a couple of seconds.
4.
Trying to find a way past.
No score. Alex, you require 6.
Disappointing for Chaz Barstow.
No score.
But the drama
Chaz,
continues.
you require 4.
Barstow with another opportunity to level this game up at 1 apiece, and an opportunity to give his night a bit of a springboard. Pretty much needs everything to go his way,
No
but
score.
this leg just hasn't.
Alex, you require
Yeah, and that
6.
felt like a case of deja vu in terms of the fact that it was almost identical as to where those landed. Spellman inside this time, forced him up to the 1.
4.
Well, this is
Chaz, you
becoming
require
rather
4.
contagious right now.
Game shot in the second
Barstow
leg. Chaz
finally
Barstow.
finds a double 2 and finally gets us back level at 1 apiece. 25
leg,
dart
it's
holder
Alex
throw. I
at
don't
very
think we'll see many of them
first. Game
tonight.
And already as we enter leg number 3 in this match, Chaz Barstow has had more darts at a double than he had in both his first
43.
matches combined yesterday.
Yeah, he only had 17 at a double for the entirety of the session, which actually, in fairness, he hit 6 of them. He was at a
74.
doubling rate of 35%. So when he did get an opportunity, he was able to take it, but they came in very sparse supply.
And that's really indicative of the fact that
100.
the scoring power that we normally see from Chaz just wasn't there last night.
Well, to put it in perspective, Alex Spellman had way more than double the amount of darts at the outer ring. He had 44,
85.
was only able to convert 13 of them, 29% all told. And that was one of the things that he was saying in his interview last night that was becoming a bit of a plaguing frustration for him.
140.
I mean, darts is one of those things, if you overthink it, then I do think it becomes such a puzzle. And I guess that's how Alex Spellman sees it as well.
21.
Because leg number 1, 87 out on the ball, no drama whatsoever. Then come leg 2, 9 darts at a double and can't get pretty much anywhere near it.
And we both know what leg he'll be analysing, not the one where he's hit the bullseye first time of
58.
asking.
Yeah, again, dart players tend to focus on what went wrong and perhaps not as much as on what went right.
60. Alex, you require 160.
Chaz Barstow may be left to ponder in a few moments' time. Spellman looking at 160 to get his nose in front. Again at 2-1. He's got plenty of time to do exactly that.
100.
Also still reeling from the missed opportunities in the previous leg. A previous leg which he actually did go on to win.
97.
But he hasn't been
Alex,
able to
you
kind of
require
drag
60.
himself back out of that particular hole just yet.
Game shot in the third leg. Alex Spellman.
Well, absolutely no issues following leg number 2 for Alex Spellman.
Fourth leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
It's a puzzling game.
140.
Yeah, to crack the Super Series code as Alex Spellman. A couple of semi-finals, that's as good as it's got for him. For Chaz, a twice weekly winner, one in each building. In fact, if you add the
125.
oldie, livey, leaguey stats bits together, then there's a whole heap of weekly titles. You're talking a handful. Champions Week winner in
92.
the previous studio. Don't know who he beat. No one ever remembers runners-up.
43.
Apart from the runners-up who then moan about it.
$44. $140.
Spellman piling on the pressure on the Chaz Barstow throw.
$21.
Opportunity now for Spellman to really take control of this contest. 6 darts, a 193 to move 3-1 to the good, and then have the darts in the next to get the job
96.
done. He's himself on a 2-darter after just a dozen.
45.
And it's
Alex
just
Require,
not happening for
97.
Chaz so far.
No, he did find a 140 in this leg, but the last 3 visits, 44, 21 and 45.
77.
And this will be the biggest frustration now that despite the Spellman miss, Chaz Barstow not on a finish.
Yeah, on throw, nowhere to be
99.
seen
Alex, you require
in
20.
comparison to his opponent, who can move 2 clear, needing just 1 more to win. And that's exactly
James
what
on
he
the fourth
does by
leg, Alex Spellman.
finding that double 10 there. A 3-1 lead for Alex Spellman, which would put him on to 8 points. It would move
Fifth
him
leg is
temporarily
Alex to the
4 clear with
reverse.
Kurt Parry and
Game on.
Ronan McDonough.
$60.
Seen that a couple of times from Spellman. He's got the line right, but maybe just not quite the level, not far off it.
44.
And he's been the first to admit this week that, and when I say this week, I also add the pairs week last week into that
140.
particular conversation, that it hasn't quite been himself on the consistent level and basis that we've become so accustomed to seeing from him over the last 3-4 years or so. There's been patches of some really, really good stuff, but it hasn't been anywhere near as regular as he's come to expect, and I suppose we've come to expect of him as well.
140. $80. Alex, you require 161.
Barstow there, not able to make more of that first dart in the treble 20. And Alex Spellman from this position got plenty of time.
105.
And by going 25 there means he leaves himself on a single number to leave himself a
95.
couple at double.
Alex, you require
To
56.
complete a 4-1 win, it'll move him on to 8 points in the group. And it will put him in a very good position to qualify through to tomorrow night.
Game
He's
start
got a
and the
hand
match, Alex Spellman.
on to Saturday night now as Alex Spellman, a 4-1 success over Chaz Barstow, gets his night off to the perfect start. And he knows he's almost there. And that's despite missing 11 darts and a double. Most of them did come in one leg. Take that out. It was actually a really good display to beat Chaz Barstow. Next up, Kurt Parry takes on Brian O'Man. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy time. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Alex Spellman got the better of Chaz Barstow by 4 legs to 1. That moves him on to 8 points in this Group B, ahead of Brian O'Mahon's meeting with Kurt Parry, the 32-year-old from Ogmore Vale in Wales. Weekly finals on multiple occasions, same as Brian O'Mahon, the 28-year-old from Antwerp in Belgium, who is looking to pick up a first weekly title, having lost in the final the last time he was here. Lost to John O'Shea in the final of week 3 of Series 11. For Kurt Parry, finals have been something that he's done a very good job of making on Saturday
First leg
nights,
is Kurt to throw first.
but has not been able to convert
Game
them
on.
into wins. First things first, he's got to qualify through. 4 points for him overnight. Both him and Ronan McDonough tied on that particular point haul
125.
going into Friday's proceedings. And as far as his night was concerned,
56.
he won his second and last game of the night. And actually, it was when he changed his
140.
setup and he tinkered with his equipment where the joy really did come. Because he
59.
changed his setup against Ronan McDonough. Okay, he lost that game, but played a lot better. And then in the last match, averaged 97.24 in
45.
beating Brian O'Mahon. And it just looked like maybe the change of setup was yielding success.
180.
Well, that, a successful visit for O'Mahon.
$121. $58. Kurt, you require 70.
Early opportunity here for Kurt Parry.
54. Brian, you require 148. $140.
Brian
Kurt, you
O'Mahon
require
continues
16.
his doubling success. Kurt Parry will want to get this scene off here,
Game
and he
shot in the
does.
First leg, Kurt Parry.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the type of player tonight, Kurt, that'll be aware of what opposition
Second leg, it's Brian
can
to throw
do
first.
to
Game
him.
on.
He played that remarkable game against Ronan McDonough in the middle of the night yesterday, where he had those back-to-back 11
100.
darters on throw, but it still wasn't enough to get the better of Ronan. He was loving each
85.
dart as if it was the last. And he certainly had a roller coaster of a night last night.
57. $140. $140.
And these two just play at such a pace that really suits one another. Straight to the oki,
60.
no nonsense, straight on with the throw.
60.
Yeah, Spent a little bit of time with Kurt and Ronan before play got underway. They were a little bit of a practice on stage. I just caught them for a little bit of a chat, and they were saying that
96.
they felt like the pace
Brian,
of
you
everybody
require
was just
144.
complementing one another. It was going at a real nice pace, a real nice flow, and actually they really enjoyed playing that
96.
group last
Kurt,
night.
you require 120.
Tops for a 120.
80.
How many
Brian, you
times have we
require
seen
48.
just graze the wire?
$32. Kurt, you require 40.
Well, that a big miss from a man,
Game shot in
punished
the
by
second
Parry.
leg, Kurt
2-0 he
Parry.
leads. A couple of 16 darters, 32 darts required to put himself 2-0 to the good.
Third leg, it's Kurt to throw first. Game on.
There you see it, leg by leg, back-to-back 16s for
58.
Kurt Parry.
Who's got his pals watching him once again tonight,
140.
as Kurt. Actually, he does have a small contingent of people that come down and watch him when he qualifies for Saturday night.
81.
I should know, I went to university with one of them.
41. $140.
When Kurt Parry gets that first start right, and you could actually make the same argument for quite a few of the players in the field this evening, but when he gets that
56.
first start right, it almost looks like he's not going to miss. He really is one of the first start merchants of the group.
It's that dart, isn't it?
140.
The biggest disappointment will be that he only found a 140 with it, because that was sat succulently.
58. Kurt, you require 82.
Free zip. Leave himself in a sumptuous position.
Game shot in the third
That
leg.
double
Kurt
12
Parry.
goes, and that's one better. That's a 15.
Fourth leg, it's Brian to throw first. Game on. $58.
Brian Rahman here, finding himself in probably relatively unfamiliar territory when it comes to Group
60.
B.
Yeah, even last night, I know there was a few games where he was put to the sword. Obviously, this one where he
96.
lost to Kurt Parry. But other than that, beat Spellman 4-1, was fairly comfortable in that. Beat Barstow 4-1, comfortable in that.
140.
Vernon McDonough did pose a few questions. Actually, was on the 9 against Brian at one point in the contest. But Rahman was able to
100.
kind of keep it together in the key moments as McDonough missed 7 darts and a double in the contest to win that one 4-2.
140.
So this has been a really good performance from Kurt. Average just under 99
Kurt, you
50%
require 161.
in terms of his doubling. He's not going to wrap it up with a 161, but
86.
he'll hope to
Brian, you
come
require
back
148.
for this 75, and he is going to come back for this 75 to seal the deal.
60. Kurt, you require 75.
One dart at tops for the match, and
35.
it just goes high.
Brian, you require
Brian
88.
Rahman now looking for a bit of a skin saver in 88. Double 7.
74. Kurt, you require 40.
And so tops for 4-0 win and a statement
Game start, and the
start
match,
from
Kurt Parry.
Kurt Parry. He knows that he has to get off to a quick start if he's going to give himself the best possible chance of qualifying through, and that's exactly what he did there. He absolutely dismantled Brian Rahman, who was restricted to just a visit's worth of darts and a double. But have a look at that on the left-hand side. 95.5 average, 4 from 8 on his doubles. Kurt Parry wins 4-0 and instantaneously piles the pressure on Ronan McDonough, who plays Chaz Barstow next.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. 44. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that
Charlie
situation there, George
require
Scaife wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go!
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got out the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Scaife!
Welcome back to the live lounge here in Portsmouth, where it is lights, camera, action on this Friday night. And before the break, we saw a superb display from Kurt Parry, getting the better of Brian Amann by 4 legs. A really good performance, average of just under 95.5, 50% in terms of his doubling, moves him on to 6 points, and kind of already piles the pressure on Roland McDonough as he takes on his first opponent of the night, Chaz Barstow, who's playing his second match of the evening, the Prince from Winchester. But he's certainly in need of a purple patch tonight, because it's all been raining down against him. Roland McDonough, the man from the Republic of Ireland, the 23-year-old, whose record here has really been superb. Twice he's been here before. On both occasions he's made it through this Saturday, and he's got deep on the Saturday. In his debut
First leg,
campaign,
it's Chaz to throw first.
lost in the final to Sam
Game on.
Spivey, before then losing out in the semi-finals in his previous week, a week which would be won by Adam
97.
Gavlas, who beat Charlie Manby in the final. And we must extend our congratulations to Charlie for picking up a
100.
development tour title today. A first success on that
180.
particular circuit for Charlie. Puts him in a very good position to qualify for the World Championships as Barstow piles in a 180. He
81.
beat Owen Bates in the final 5-4. And also congratulations goes to Jemai van den Herik for picking up a Dev Tour title today, beating Cam
44.
Crabtree in the final of that particular competition.
59.
Yeah, great to watch the action unfold, not just here, but we were keeping one eye on the Dev Tour as well.
140.
As for this match, it's a blistering start for Chaz Barstow, down to a double after 12. And this is a match
58.
where
Chaz, you require
Ronan McDonough
40.
yesterday really did come alive, found that 106 average, turned round his fortunes in terms of how the evening was progressing.
30.
But this has been the sticky patch for Chaz Barstow when he's got down to a double, not finding it quick enough.
140. Chaz, you require 10.
Luckily in this leg, he's been afforded a bit of time, but he cannot afford to miss any more. Cannot afford to miss double 2.
Game
And
shot
he
in the first
doesn't.
leg. Chaz
And
Barstow.
he gets himself on the board. For Ronan, it was a night of 2 halves yesterday. Lost his first couple of games, picking up just 3
Second
legs,
leg
and then
is
won
Ronan
his
to
last
go
2.
first. Game on.
Clicked into gear as the finishing line approached in the evening.
54. 42. 140. 140. 140.
And already this match feels like it's really starting to warm up. And we saw this from Ronan McDonough, especially yesterday. These
77.
periods within a match where it
Ronan,
just
you require
felt like there was a magnet in the
167.
treble 20.
At his best, he is frighteningly electrifying. Does he go for the ball? Yes, he does. He's a bit of a showman, isn't he, Ronan, at times? He does like to go for the flashy and the extreme. Misses the bullseye there, but will come back for 25 to
77.
level this contest
Ronan,
up
you
at 1
require
apiece. A contest
25.
really now, because of that win for Kurt Parry, he can ill afford to lose.
9.
And if he does win this game, all of a sudden, Brian the Man becomes a little bit embroiled into things.
46. Ronan, you require 16.
And Brian Roman for his next game, he'll be facing Alex Spellman.
Game shot in the second leg. Ronan McDonough.
Donna picks up that leg, and level we are at 1 apiece.
Third leg, it's Chaz to throw first. Game on.
McDonough looking to strike a pose on this
140.
Friday night.
58. 81.
But it was the doubling, wasn't it,
97.
yesterday? It was the big concern. His scoring was absolutely fine. I know we spoke about the 106 average, but actually in his other games, the scoring was rather good, but 11 from 50 in terms of his doubling, and more attempts
140.
at a double than any other player in the group, but converting just 22%
100.
of the
Chaz, you require
opportunities that he
140.
had last night.
Well, this could be an opportunity for Barstow. I'm just looking to set
100.
up. Yeah, it was that match against Spellman for McDonough that where 17 missed starts, 1 from 18.
96. Chaz, you require 40. Game shot in the third leg. Chaz
For Barstow, this is a little bit more like it. 13 data there to move himself 2-1 to the good
Fourth
in
leg,
this
it's Ronan to
contest.
throw first.
Now,
Game on.
the likelihood of him making it through is very, very skinny at this present moment in time. But for what he may lack in terms of what he cannot do, it's what he
132.
can make up in stopping what others may be able to achieve.
57.
Because of the way the table was when we came into proceedings, you just felt it was essential
45.
for Chaz Barstow to have won that opening match.
Well, Chaz won a qualifier of the weekend to
39.
come back here at the beginning of 2026. Not that he's really a player that needed to come through a qualifying system to play at the Super Series, but had won the London and South East
140.
ADC Vault region for Series 13, then he buys himself a Well, he doesn't buy himself a ticket,
134.
but he books a ticket back here in 2026 as an ADC qualifier.
100.
Which is where it all began for Ronan. Won the ADC Ireland qualifying
104.
tournament,
Ronan, you
and he's
require
pretty much been
84.
a mainstay ever since.
2 apiece. Other side of the board.
72. Chaz, you require
It's
167.
a good setup play from Chaz to ensure it was on a finish. But again, it's another long-range opportunity that's not going to go.
100.
Still unable to find
Ronan,
the
you
167,
require
and so McDonough looking at double 6 to level up at
Game shot in
2-2.
the 4th leg.
And
Ronan
makes
McDonough.
absolutely no mistake whatsoever. Level game we have, 2-2. In a
5th
game
leg is
of
Chaz to
must-win
throw first.
proportions
Game on.
for that man in your picture.
140. 55. 45.
Chaz is one of those players, isn't he, where he kind of makes the most of all of the opportunities that the various
99.
darting bodies have to offer. You can go back maybe 2-3 years. He really was at the peak of his game, right at the top of the Challenge Tour, managed to secure a
96.
spot in the 2022 World Championships as well.
And right out the cage of Michael Van Gogh won the first set, didn't he, off of Ali Pally? And
140.
even though he lost that game 3-1, he had Michael in all sorts of knots for a time in that contest.
100.
And there probably was a time in 2021 where you can make the argument that he was the best player out of tour
171.
card.
Chaz, you require 120.
Well, this would be the best shot, best finish from Barstow.
100. Ronan, you require 36.
Still waiting for that moment, still waiting for that spark. Madonna needs a break if he's going to win this game. And is
Game
that
shot
the
in the
one
fifth
he
leg,
needed
Ronan
there?
McDonough.
A 14 darter to put himself 3-2 to the good, and now with the darts in his hand to complete a 4-2
Sixth leg
win,
is Ronan
which
to throw
puts him on
first.
to 6 points in the group.
Game on.
Level with Rahman, level with Parry, and all of a sudden it's all open for interpretation.
$97. 99.
And despite the increase in terms of levels for Chaz, Barstow is backs against the wall once again.
137.
Ronan's come out tonight like a man that's really focused on the task, knowing what he has to
43.
do to get himself through. And so far, part number 1 of that job could well be falling into his
89.
hands, although that final dart removes the opportunity of him finishing off in the next 6 darts. But with Barstow, they're back on 3-5-9. It's an irrelevant situation even if he finds a max.
139.
6 from 178 for McDonough.
94.
Yeah, and it's a really good switch in the end. And Chaz Barstow had a few
60.
opportunities.
Ronan,
Could have been
you
a different
require
scoreline, but it's
84.
McDonough with the opportunity.
As a glance over, sees that Barstow's on 160. Which means he does head for the
Game
ball and
shot
then
and the
gets
match,
the
Ronan
ball
McDonough.
and gets a crucial first win to his night, which could have ended so differently at points. But it is Ronan McDonough that picks up the points. He beats Chaz Barstow by 4 legs to 2. He's still searching for that first win. Relief on the face of Ronan McDonough in the end, averaging 94, 4 from 11 in terms of his finishing. He beats Chaz Barstow by 4 legs to 2. Brian, a man who could find himself in a bit of a pickle if he loses to Alex Spellman next.
Welcome back to the Tungsten Talk, where we are discussing the life and career of our special guest, Alex Spellman. And I turned darts from a sport into a puzzle, something I could figure out, breaking down my throw. Like I tell some of the people I coach, I want to make them chefs. I want them to be able to taste the dish and know I put too much of this or too little of that. I don't want them to overthink. I want them to understand. And I got lucky to get my foot in the door as a contractor at Epic Games, the producer of Fortnite.
Yeah, we've been chatting with Alex Spellman this week, and you'll get to hear a little bit more from him when the Tungsten Talk series continues again soon. Well, that man's the man in focus now, Barnum Man, because he is in a spot of bother. He lost his opening game of the night, 4-0 to Kurt Parry. And he's seen a win for Ronan McDonough before the break, twinned up because of the fact that Parry beat him, which means that there is a congealment of the league table. Spellman on 8 points, Parry, Roman and McDonough all on 6 in the table, respectively. Spellman wins this, he'll move on to 10 points. But because Chaz Barstow hasn't won a game yet, there's not a safe sanctuary for him just yet, because there is still a potential scenario where all the players would be able to finish on 10 points in the group. Obviously, his legs difference will do him a little bit of a favour. But yeah, we've never had it before. But there is a possibility that everybody, apart from poor Chaz at the bottom of the group, could all be on the same number of points. I feel sorry for whoever's got to work out the mathematics as to who makes it through and not.
And it wasn't a straightforward group this afternoon by any means. There was a resurgence from
99.
Robert Thornton that really did put the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of who was going to finish where. And it was unfortunate for Thornton. A couple of results didn't go his way.
140.
And even if Spellman won this game 4-0, there won't be a mathematical certainty in terms of leg difference 86. Either. Which goes to show how tight this group has been, with the exception of Paul Chase has been competitive, but hasn't picked points up.
$64. Alec, Brian, you require 152. $102. Alex, you require 22.
Slides across the oche, just trying to open
11.
up the angle and just
Brian,
overcooks
you require 50.
And so a man has an opportunity
Game
to complete a hold of throw and then feel a little bit like a break. Well, Alex Spellman said that he wants players to be like chefs. Well, in terms of his doubling in that leg, he had as many spillages as a dripping pan.
$40.
Yes, it's really interesting to
100.
hear the thoughts of Alex Spellman in terms of the process that he employs and the way that he approaches the game. It's very different to a lot of players. He was even saying last night that for 55. Him sometimes, yes, obviously the win is important. That's what you're going up there to do. But he actually puts more emphasis on just being able to play well, to be
100.
competitive. Ultimately, if he plays at his best, he feels that he's one of those players that's going to be very difficult to beat. And he's proven that so far over the last few days.
And he kind of mentioned it in his interview, and it kind of goes back to what he did once upon a time as a day job. I know it's very well documented what he did do as a full-time occupation. And I suppose when you're
100.
working in those kind of quarters, it is down to a due process in terms of, particularly with coding, is that a certain formula has to work together to get a certain result.
136.
And that's what he's trying to look for on the oche.
60. Alex, you require 170.
Raise the eyebrows from Brian Roman because he can't find that big treble.
55. Brian, you require 141.
So 141 for 2-zip. Not to be this time, but Spellman's only left himself at 115, and a treble with that
Alex,
last
you require
dart,
115.
you would say, puts him favourite to win this leg. An opportunity for a
99.
break,
Brian,
which
you
would put him
require
2-0 up
44.
and put him halfway towards cancelling out what happened in that opening game against
Game
Kurt
shot in
Parry.
the second leg. Brian
Far more
Roman.
short in this one from Brian. In fairness, he wasn't really allowed many opportunities to put a foot wrong against
Third
Kurt
leg
Parry,
is
but he's
Brian to
certainly
throw
putting
first.
things
Game
right
up.
here.
I think that's what Parry did so well in the opening match, as he just denied him those chances. He was 50%
58.
on his doubles, and as you say, restricting Brian Roman to only 3 in one leg, and that's the reason why, because when he's getting a chance so far these last couple of days, he has taken it 2 from 2 in this match.
96.
And he was around the 56% for the whole session last night.
There's elite level finishing, and then there was Brian Roman
180.
levels of finishing last night as he piles in his first 180 of this contest and only the fourth 180 of the night.
Yeah, that was a stat that surprised me. Just the 2 maximums
83.
from Brian Roman in yesterday's session. Already hit 2 tonight.
Yeah, it was almost an
57.
antiphasizing performance from Roman last night, where usually it's his scoring that's his prowess, and it's the finishing that sometimes can leave him susceptible. But it was
60.
the opposite of that yesterday, where the scoring was good enough to give himself the opportunity. When the opportunities arose, he took them.
56.
Well, I think sometimes in these group sessions, what's most important is when you do have a loose throw, it's still keeping it straight. It's keeping it around the kind of 85 or at least, you know, the 60s. And what some players are
128.
doing was
Brian, you require
when they slipped, it was a
150.
26 or a 45.
60. Alex, you require
I mentioned yesterday, in
134.
terms of range of performance, there wasn't too much between his best and worst game yesterday. Spellman looking to find the first ton topper of the night, another double top. It's just underneath,
114.
caressed the wire, but
Brian,
just
you
drops
require
low.
90.
And it was really difficult to see from that angle because
42. Alex, you
it's
require
really
20.
tight to the wire.
No score.
Yeah, was there an argument there for Spellman just to have
Brian, you
moved over
require
slightly, just to
48.
open up the bed?
And so opportunity presents itself again for Brian.
Game shot in the
An
third leg.
opportunity
Brian Roman.
taken. 3 darts thrown at a double, 3 doubles hit.
Fourth leg, it's Alex to throw first. Game on.
You saw that shake of the head after the third double went in
45.
for Brian Roman. Alex Spellman, he's had chances, he's had opportunities to see off legs, but
100.
you just can't afford to give the Belgium any chance at a double at the moment.
Ruthless from Roman.
100.
No answers to the riddle so far
91.
for Alex. Of course, streaming live in Belgium tonight, as well as the rest of Europe.
58.
Wherever you are tuning in across the world, very good evening to you. And actually, in the next game, we've got a little bit of a challenge for you. It's Friday night, and
80.
we've been getting rather creative in the Super Series studio here at the Live Lounge, and we thought we would spread that creativity to you guys at home.
100.
We'll tell you more about that. Might even be in the next leg, because Spellman may well get one on the board, although Roman has very
135.
different ideas.
2 treble visit, and what a time to get it. He knows he'll be back for 95.
100. Brian, you require 95.
So this for 4-0 win. He lost his opening match by a 4-0 scoreline. He's not going to completely
83.
cancel that out
Alex, you
here.
require
But
98.
he's left himself on a dub, but his Spellman cannot take out the 98.
Double 19, the target. He's got room to get above, but
60.
didn't lift it high enough, and it's 9 missed
Brian,
for
you
Alex
require
Spellman on
12.
the doubles.
He's missed 20 darts at a double so far tonight as Alex Spellman.
6.
But he's going to get 3 more here.
Alex, you require 38.
Yeah, that perfect record on the outer ring for Brian Roman. Now 3 from 6. It's easy to see how quickly it can change, but Alex Spellman needs to find a way. 1 dart in hand, double 8.
Game shot.
Double 8 is found.
Alex
We do
Spellman.
go on.
It was almost an ironic chuckle as to, oh, finally you want to play ball,
Fifth
do
leg is
ya?
Brian to throw first. Game on.
Roman has the darts here, though, to get this game wrapped up.
And you don't ever really
97.
see a great deal of a reaction from Alex Spellman. I mean, that's pretty much as big as it would get in terms of reaction. But he's just telling himself to calm down. I think he's a player a bit like Robert Thornton. They will
43.
chastise themselves, but it's more to kind of refocus and try and get that adrenaline going.
I don't know about you, but I feel like I've
100.
seen more emotion from Alex Spellman this week playing than we have done for the rest of the 2.5 years combined that he's played here.
100.
Yeah, well, I think for Spellman, you can sense this is a real opportunity. We were discussing it this afternoon, and we feel like this week
100.
really quite open. And the only other person to have picked up a title here is Chaz Barstow, left in the running. And Chaz, obviously languishing at the bottom of the table here tonight. An opportunity for a new weekly champ.
81.
Well, yeah, the 4 players realistically still in the race. They've all knocked on the door. They've all
46.
been there or thereabouts without crossing the ticker tape.
Yeah, and as we know, we've got 2 debutants already made it through to
60.
Saturday, and
Brian, you
Jason
require
Brandon and
158.
Stein de Klerk, joined by Carl Wilkinson, who again is another player that has knocked on the door but hasn't quite
60.
got through to the other side.
Yeah, if it's not this week, I expect Carl Wilkinson to win a week very, very soon. He is such a capable customer as
81.
a man here
Brian,
looks
you require
to
98.
put the rubber stamp on a job which so far has been well done. He decides to split and
Game
hits
start and
the
the
double
match, Brian
16 to complete a 4-1 success. And it means that he will join Alex Spellman on 8 points in the group. Things are getting very tight, and the next game is a huge one. Ronan McDonough against Kurt Parry is going to tell us a lot going into the second half of the night. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yeah. Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen! And the new
And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison! The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor! One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Luke Littler! So this is how the situation looks here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth as far as this Group B is concerned on the final night of action here at the Modus Super Series. Brian O'Man and Alex Spellman both at the top of the table with 8 points respectively. Kurt Parry and Ronan McDonough both on 6. They go toe-to-toe and head-to-head here in this 5th game of the night session. The winner will move on to 8 points, 2 clear of their opponent with just 4 more to play for here at the wonderful, picturesque Live Lounge in Portsmouth. And how resplendent does it look on this Friday night? That's the view from the top of the stage to the back of the stage. Game 5 of the evening, and it is
First leg is Ronan to throw first.
one of mammoth
Game on.
proportions. The stage is set. It's game on between McDonough and Parry. But who is going to take to the stage tomorrow
100.
night? The winner of this one will be in a very good position to do exactly that. The loser, though, has a lot of work to do and a lot of ground to make up.
60.
Feels like a really important match in terms of who will secure a spot. I do agree. I think
41.
for me, whoever wins this, then their destiny is essentially in their own hands. They have the opportunity to go through the card and secure a place. For the other, as you say,
96.
they're going to have to rely on some favours from some of the other players.
Going to have to do it the hard way.
59.
It'd be one of those nights where they'd have to be relying incredulously on the permutations.
180.
But this game yesterday really did go off, didn't it? Big scoring, big finishing, a couple of 11 dart legs from
95.
Kurt Parry, and that still wasn't enough for him to get the better of Ronan.
No, it was one of those matches that really was just going leg by
88.
leg, throw by throw, and it was just that last leg. McDonough just had that little bit too much.
98. Kurt, you require 77.
But Parry's overturned the throw in this opening leg. Having a look at double top.
57.
Goes low, McDonough
Ronan, you
needs a double
require
plus finish here.
108. 68.
Did really well to get past that
Kurt,
first
you
dart to
require
find the treble.
20.
17. The tops was just a step too far, and it's double 5 for Kurt Parry for a breaker throw.
15. Ronan, you require 40.
Double top for McDonough to take leg 1.
Game shot in the first
And
leg.
it
Ronan
goes
McDonough.
leg 1 in the ledger of Ronan McDonough, who looks rather fired up for this
Second leg,
key
it's Kurt to throw
encounter
first. Game on.
between the pair.
And he is one of those players that can get really
123.
animated. You mentioned in that opening match where he faced Chaz Barstow, it's really focused, really business-like, but he knows that this is a
96.
game that could catch a light at any moment. We saw it yesterday, but it's so important for both these players.
I don't know about you, but Ronan's one of those players that
135.
needs that edge to be able to play at his best. He needs to have that kind of sense of feeling, that sense of the adrenaline kind of pumping through his body, but it's
137.
kind of working it around in the right way that you don't overdo it. You don't exert too much energy, particularly in a round robin format like
100.
this.
Yeah, you need to hold a little bit back, don't you?
I just wonder whether that's
59.
something that he's
You require
beginning to
143.
learn with a little bit of experience on that stage.
63.
Though he finds himself a little bit behind the 8 ball in this leg. Parry back for 82.
99.
Level the contest
Kurt,
up
you
at one
require
apiece.
80.
And a couple of routine holds a throw to kickstart. Now he's got to be careful here because there is a possibility he can catch.
40. Ronan, you require
There's trepidation
110.
through every nook and cranny there.
Disaster with the first start for McDonough. For Kurt Parry, he had 5 to break in the opening leg.
78. Kurt, you require
More opportunities
40.
here for Parry.
Game shot in the
This
second
time,
leg. Kurt
no
Parry.
mistake. And yeah, I was speaking to Kurt earlier, and I said, I think, especially in international
Third leg
pairs
is Ronan
last
to
week,
throw
I saw
first. Game
more
up.
frustration coming out of him than I've ever seen before. And I think it goes back to perhaps the fact that he has been, let me say, kind of
97.
experimenting with the setup, with the equipment. But it was the change to these particular darts yesterday that just
45.
turned his fortunes around.
He's a player that certainly found a second wind over the course of the last 12 months or so as he picked up that
140.
Champion of Champions title. But I reckon now he's at a stage where he's thinking, yes, he's got a very good record, particularly in this building,
60.
but he now wants to turn what is a good vein of form into things where he's picking up trophies and picking up big checks once again.
180.
Trying to take that next step as McDonough piles in his first match of the contest.
60. Ronan, you require 84. 52.
Once again, the sensible option sets up beautifully.
60.
2 left after 12, and
Ronan,
he's
you
got
require
all the
32.
time he wants to convert it.
Game shot in the
Well,
third
Kurt
leg.
Parry's just
Ronan
got to try and
McDonough.
put that to the back of the mind. It was a 14-dart hole for Ronan McDonough, which meant that he would have had to have
Fourth leg, it's Kurt to throw
taken
first.
that
Game
leg
up.
out in a dozen anyway to have gone on and won it.
Yeah, we know it's well within the remit of Kurt Parry.
100.
Now that was very uncharacteristic. He's not a player you see too often step back, and particularly with the kind of elongated pause that we saw.
140.
He's a very rhythmic player. When that first dart goes in,
140.
tends to follow.
$140.
Well, McDonough now pushing and probing on the door of a break, but
131.
Parry just trying to bolt the door shut by finding that 2 treble turn, forcing McDonough effectively into something of his own.
60.
And failing to
Kurt,
find
you
the
require
treble there.
130.
Leaves this leg very much in the hands of the man at the board now.
It was a quick glance
90.
over to see
Ronan, you
McDonough
require
was on a finish,
161.
trying to find another treble. Found the wrong one. But Parry poised to pounce here, make it 2 apiece.
99. Kurt, you require 40. Game
Well,
shot in the
14
fourth leg.
darter
Kurt
in the
Parry.
previous leg for Ronan McDonough, cancelled out by 13 darter there. Huge game this between these two, and we are locked to level at 2-2.
$100.
You really do have to give some of the credit to Brian Roman, really. That 4-1 win over Alex Spellman
95.
the match before, for me, has really then meant that there's so much weighted on this particular match. If it had gone the way of Spellman, that it may have felt
97.
slightly different.
Even though it's not, there's a real sense of knockout, isn't there, about this game? I know the loser isn't out of it,
96.
but they lead themselves with a lot of work to do, particularly when you look at what's to come for both players. Ronan finishes up against Alex and
60.
Brian, and for Kurt Parry, he finishes up with meetings against Chaz Barstow and Alex Spellman.
60. $85.
Yeah, the route taken by McDonough there meant that last start, there was nothing he could do to leave a
43.
finish.
Still has 6 on this 157, and he's making best use of it.
87.
He's himself on 72 to lead 3-2. Move himself one away.
41.
And that, Kurt Parry
Ronan, you
knows,
require
is a
72.
disaster dart, because it's allowed his opponent 6.
$32.
And McDonough's going to need all 6, and there's nothing Kurt Parry can do from this position.
55. Ronan, you require 40.
And by
Game shot in the 5th
By
leg.
Kurt Parry
Ronan
standards, it
McDonough.
has been a relatively poor passage of play. Those last 12 darts, not a big treble found, but you just got to
6th leg, it's Kurt to throw first.
try and not get
Game up.
absorbed and kind of overwhelmed by the negativity, because shaking the head, you're still in the match, it's still on throat.
140.
It just felt like he ran into a bit of a wall, didn't he, in that previous leg? Just didn't happen at all for him. But
93.
it's not the first time that's happened on Ronan's throw in this game. And the problem Kurt Parry's got is, if he's going to win this game, first he's got to win this one on throw, but then he has to break
140.
McDonough in the last. Well, he's going about the first job quite well. But the problem he's got is Ronan
140.
McDonough is following him pound for pound.
$83.
Bit of a slip with the last start. And McDonough back in that treble 20 bed.
100.
Yeah,
Currently
and he's just
require
realised
138.
disaster with the last, should have switched.
As soon as he
58.
released that last dart, it dawned on him. All he can do is try and force a mistake out of his opponent now, having just
44.
made one of his own.
Kurt, you require 80.
Sometimes you can just get so absorbed in a match and so focused on finding those big trebles that you just have that lapse
22.
in concentration, and that
Ronan, you require
is a
124.
big lapse there for Kurt Parry.
And he'll be the first to put his hands up to that, but it may be a case of all's well, but ends well. But it's not going to end on the
88.
ball.
Kurt, you require 58.
Kurt Parry knows he cannot miss. He does,
38.
and McDonough's back with 3 in hand.
Ronan, you require 36.
Double 9. 1 dart left in hand, and
Game
it
shot and
is
the match,
double
Ronan
9 for
McDonough.
Ronan McDonough. It's a 4-2 victory and a big reaction from McDonough as he knows he's put himself one step further into Saturday's finals. That moves him into 3rd place. There's the tail of the tape, just under a 90 average for McDonough. And coming up next, we've got our table topper Brian Roman against Chaz Barstow.
40.
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart for the match.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And he Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jurgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Gablas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He's 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the 1 treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.
Game. Go. And the Modus Super Series 11 champion, Jeff Smith.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where we're midway through the night here on this Friday evening here in Portsmouth. Before the break, Ronan McDonald had a huge game against Kurt Parry by 4-2. That moves him on to 8 points in the group. We can have a look at that now for you. This is how the league standings look at the halfway point of the night. Brian O'Man, like he was at the beginning of the evening, leading the way. Alex Spellman in second. Ronan McDonald tied on third. Kurt Parry on 6 points. And there is still a situation where we could see every single player come the end of proceedings tied on 10 points, with the exception of Chaz Barstow at the bottom of the pile. It has been a crazy, crazy group so far. However, if Brian O'Man wins this game against Chaz by 4 legs to 1, it wouldn't really matter about who's on 10 points and who's not on 10 points, because he would be safe in the Saturday sanctuary of the Super Series here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, looking to go one better from his exploits last time he was here. As for Chaz Barstow, he is playing for pride in this finale to this Group B campaign. Brian, he lost his first game 4-0 against Kurt Parry, but put things right by getting the better of Alex Spellman by a 4-1 scoreline. And if he can put Barstow away with quite some conjecture, then he will be into the final again.
60.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's quite impressive how he bounced back after the disappointment of losing
33.
that opening match at 4-0 to Kurt Parry. Managed to get the better of his closest rival in Alex Spellman, 4-1.
131.
Because there was a point after that 4-0 defeat that we were saying, oh, things could look a bit tricky for Brian Roman.
Because the way the fixtures were falling, they were
83.
falling really unkindly for him. But he managed to put that theorem into irrelevancy.
55. 99.
Yeah, and as for Chaz, this is a Group B campaign
100.
that probably one that is best to forget, because we know the levels that Chaz has got, and we've seen some of them, but every time he's up to his game, he had 90 in that opening match, but still went,
15.
oh, sorry, in the second
Brian,
match,
you
but
require
went down
155.
4-2 to Rona McDonough.
It's been a bit of a whimper for the man from Winchester,
99.
whose next assignment after this is to be a talismanic figure for the England side at the World Cup in South Korea.
97. Brian, you require 56.
Man back for 56 to get the breaker to take out the opening leg. He's going to have to spurn one.
Game
But he
start
only
in the
needs
first
one
leg,
anyway.
Brian Roman.
That's the way he's been finishing it so far in this group.
Yeah, double 16 has most
Second leg
definitely
is
been his
Brian's
friend
at the
so
reverse.
far this
Game
evening.
on.
And it was something that he was alluding to on Tuesday, that, as we know,
96.
Brian is somebody that really does think about the game. He's a little bit like Alex Spellman in that particular respect, and he micro-analyses everything.
140.
You'll be watching this tape back, and one thing he was finding was that double 16 so far this week has been
99.
hitting, which is why at every given opportunity he has tried to leave that particular target.
140.
Yeah, I remember there have been passages of play with Brian Roman where double 13 was always the
139.
double of choice. Much to the confusion of any of us trying to work out exactly which route he was going to take at one time.
Yeah, I'm
26.
sure the spotters
Brian,
are
you require
happy that he's gone for
167.
things a little bit more conventional this week.
59.
In fairness, I'm not quite sure the spotter really, or at least the spot on duty tonight, really wants to see Brian Roman, because I think 3 years on, they've still got the shivers after a lakeside defeat to him.
122. Brian, you require 108. 92. Chaz, you require 73. Game shot in the
Cleanly
second leg,
taken by
Barstow.
Chaz Barstow to level things up at 1 apiece. A leg that was 1 in 14 darts, and
Third leg
again
is Chaz
Barstow
to
just
throw
showing
first.
signs of exactly
Game on.
what we would expect from him, but perhaps just left it a little bit too, well, most definitely has left it a little too late.
Tonight has
57.
been better, but it's still been patchy, hasn't it?
95.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of factors that he is finding the big scores,
140.
perhaps not consistently enough, but when he has got down to a double, it's taken him longer than expected. That's why the 73 there, the cleanly taken 73,
140.
it's much better.
Well, we saw it in that game against Alex Spellman, that there was only a few legs he did have an opportunity at a double, but we had that leg, that
82.
scrappy leg to make it 1-1. He had other darts in other legs. It just never, ever quite got going.
119.
Could have been a different story as well in that game against Mona McDonough. Played okay in that contest, actually. Average 90 on the nose, but 2 from 7 on the
98.
doubles
Brian,
was
you
the
require 147.
telling difference as a man looks at 147.
60. Chaz, you require 124.
Treble 18 for the ball.
56. Brian, you require 87.
So 87 to go 2-1 to the good to get another break.
69.
Not to be.
Chaz, you require 68. Game shot in the third leg. Chaz
Well, this is a
Barstow.
marked improvement in terms of the finishing from Barstow. 2 from 2. Two of them, those pop combination
Fourth leg is
finishes of
Brian to go
73 and
first. Game
68.
Doing a Roman. On Roman.
41.
And because of that leg, Brian Roman will not qualify as a direct result of this particular contest.
140.
Loses it, then he's in doo-doo.
60.
It's past the watershed, I can say it.
$59.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a roller coaster evening, couldn't it, for Brian Roman? Because we mentioned already
56.
losing that opener, just put a few question marks over the Riddler and came back against Spellman 4 legs to 1. But now, again, there's questions because
174.
Chaz Barstow really has upped it.
$128. Chaz, you require 128.
1-2-8 for Barstow. Doesn't have to, but he's the type of player that will try and attack anything and everything.
63.
I think it also comes down to the routes that you know and you're comfortable with.
60. Chaz, you require 65.
7 scored. Double top for 3-1.
45. Brian, you require 156.
Well, this would be some rescue if Brian Roman can find the 156. It's a beautiful, inviting first. There's the second for double 18.
Game
A
shot on the third
156
leg,
is
Brian
found.
Roman.
Brian Roman levelling it up 2-all.
How big could that moment be?
Fifth leg, it's Chaz
That
to throw first.
feels
Game on.
seismic. That feels huge. And that could be a real game changer, group changer.
57.
Just when Chaz Barstow
92.
thought things couldn't get any worse. It can.
Yeah, and it's not actually Brian Roman's biggest
98.
finisher. Last night, the 167, which also came against Chaz Barstow.
Yeah, he must feel like the rest of
99.
the field have put a hex over him.
Yeah, kind of ganging up on him in the up air on the oki.
But it's so weird because when you have a group
81.
like this, when you've got 5 players that on paper you'd say they're all rather evenly matched. Okay, there's a little bit of a differential in some of players in terms of different areas, but by and large there's not much to split them. There always tends to be one player that just finds themselves on the
140.
receiving end of it. And for Chaz, he's just been that player in this group.
He has indeed, and as you say, it does feel like a bit of an outlier in terms of the fact he hasn't picked up any wins
133.
because
Brian, you require 170.
he has been competitive, just not consistently enough. Yeah, if Brian Roman
40.
hit the 170
Chaz, you
after the
require
156, I think
132.
Chaz Barstow would probably have left the stage.
Oh, hang on. Oh, hang on. Oh, Chaz
100.
Barstow. That was
Brian, you require
almost
130.
beautiful.
But the misses could be punished. It's ball for Roman.
105.
Yeah,
Chaz, you
close, but
require
not close
32.
enough.
So double 16 to move 3-2 up. And he would actually make the 156 finish of the previous leg absolutely
No score.
irrelevant. But more misses. 4 to win this leg. Roman for 3-2.
Brian, you
For
require
a crucial
25.
break, which would give him the darts to win it in the next.
Game shot in the 5th leg. Brian
Finishing
Roman.
has been exceptional on that side of the board. If on a rare occasion he does miss the double 16, the double 8's always there to back him up.
6th leg, it's Brian to throw first.
Well, have we just
Game
seen
up.
a huge moment in terms of the context of the night? Barstow missing 4 darts to go 3-2 up on Brian Roman.
60.
Roman picks his pocket by pinning double 8 and now has the darts to win this contest. However, Roman's gone off
180.
troublous and Chaz has gone off max.
Barstow not backing down.
97.
And we did say he would still have a role to play in proceedings this evening. I think the one thing I can
40.
say about any player is you do not want to come here and not pick up any points. You want to, even if it's just the last couple of matches.
100.
If Chaz Barstow wins one of his last 2 games, he won't make it through, but he probably sends out the player he beats.
Barstow's final remaining
99.
match, that will be against Kurt Parry.
$44.
Well, Barstow here has got 6 darts to break back to level this game up at 3-3. And all of a sudden,
43.
all the pressure in the world is piled upon that Belgian on your screen there.
58. Chaz, you require 139.
Couldn't make the most of the opportunity presented to him, and it's a 139 required for Barstow.
$81. Brian, you require 142.
Well, he's left himself on 58, unless Roman has got another trick up his sleeve. So I'm going to find the 142. That's not going to be added to the
Chaz, you require
156.
58.
So this, for level match, cannot
38.
find. Roman's back for the
Brian, you
win.
require 40. Game chart and the
And
match.
Tops
Brian
is
Roman.
found, and it is Brian Roman that picks up the additional 2 points, moves on to 10, 2 clear of second place Alex Spellman. And there is the tail of the tape, just over an 87 for Brian Roman, 4 from 7 on the outer ring, including that glorious 156 checkout. And it is Alex Spellman up next against Ronan McDonough.
Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up
Rondreas, Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! To wrap it up with a big fish.
Richie Bennett's wrapped his around his head.
He wants Richie Bennett to take out this 142. And Bennett's
James
going
on
to
the
take
third
out the
leg. Richie
142. Bullseye. To reel it in. It's another beauty
Keegan
for
Brown.
Keegan Brown.
Tops. That's more like it. He didn't go west, he went north.
Double 19. Magnificent.
James on the fourth
Absolutely
leg.
magnificent. Andreas Harrison nods his head in approval. He expects this to go.
James
It does
on the
go.
third leg.
It's simply
Jim
stunning
McEwen.
from the Granite Scot. Yeah, we've got some big names in action next week. We've got a former champion, Jim McEwen, in there. Jimmy Van Ski, the two-time Champions League runner-up, looking to go one better in what could well be the final time we ever see him in. Now, that is a scary thought. Could be Keegan Brown and Richie Bennett. I'm sure he's going to provide us with some frills and spills. And then we're going to see our dab hand, Dan Hands, in Group C, alongside Richard McKee. And Terry Nash will be looking to get his teeth stuck into proceedings. That gets underway on Monday morning from 9:30. And of course, Johan Engstrom, the Sweet Ferret, is going to be back as well. Huge game coming up here, though, between Ronan McDonough and Alex Spellman. For Ronan, he can move on to 10 points. Or the winner of this game will move on to 10 points and join Brian Amann on that particular mark. And then it will put all sorts of pressure on Kurt Parry. Actually, there is a potential scenario here where Game 10 could well be a de facto shootout. Now, let me explain the hypotheses of which Game 10 could be a potential shootout match. If Ronan McDonough wins this game, Kurt Parry wins the next game. Game 9 is an absolute irrelevance, which would
First
mean
leg
that
is
Game
Ronan to
10
throw first.
between Alex Spellman
Game on.
and Kurt Parry would be a one-off duel to determinate the final player through to Saturday night.
180. $96.
And loser of that game would
58.
be exterminated from the competition.
Yeah, there's definitely still a few more
50.
outcomes. Nothing is completely sewn up as yet.
100.
And this is the meeting yesterday that we've referenced a couple of times where Ronan McDonough missed 17 darts at a double, ended up losing the match 4
58.
legs to 1, despite having a substantially higher average. I mean, when you miss 17 at the outer ring and you still end up with an 84 average, it was proof that there was
97.
no issue whatsoever with the scoring power.
And it was interesting when he was talking to us earlier on tonight. It was that he was talking about, the 17 missed darts in this game.
83.
Both players be well aware of it.
66.
Ronan with first opportunity on a double in this game. And only needed the one to mop up the first leg.
Second leg, it's Alex to throw first. Game on.
As for Alex Spellman, it's been a night of two halves because he opened up proceedings against Chaz Barstow with a comprehensive 4-1 victory.
58.
Then came unstuck and lost by the same scoreline, 4-1 to Brian Rahman.
85.
Yeah, has been a bit of a night of compare and contrast so far, particularly for the two that were the top two in this
92.
particular group table. And actually, just having a look at the odds. Now, remember the beginning of the night, Ronan McDonough was 7-1 to win this group.
38.
He wins this game. And then he plays Brian a man last. That 7-1 could be interesting value. Depends on a lot of things happening, of course, but just a point to put out there into the world.
45.
And if you do want to get in contact with us, you can do via the World Wide Web. Contact us on Facebook, X, Instagram. We're at MSS Darts. You can send in your thoughts and observations on the night's action. And if you do, in fact, we passed the 100,000 follower mark on the Facebook earlier on today, as Uncle Bim would say.
80.
Well, I think Alex Spellman is wondering what's occurring because it's proving to be a difficult night, and that is beautiful set-up play.
You require 106.
For Ronan McDonough.
Needs this 106, you feel. It's not going to take it. And McDonough here.
58.
It was around this point yesterday where he really did push on. Is he doing exactly the same here?
No
but he
score.
can't find the double 11 to lead 2-0.
Alex, you require 48.
And he knows that was a big chance to double the lead.
$32. Ronan, you require 22.
And
No
can't
score.
find the single number. Frustration for McDonough.
Alex, you require 16.
Not happy at all. And he referenced this game a lot this evening, and he may begin to feel that history is repeating itself a little bit. But Spellman may also feel like the history of his game against Brian Rahman may be beginning to repeat itself here.
Yeah, 1 from 11 in that match against Rahman.
Game shot in the second leg. Ronan McDonough.
A little grunt from Ronan McDonough and a shake of the head from Alex Spellman.
I was going to say, that was less a celebration. That's more of a reaction when the alarm clock goes off first thing on a Monday morning.
Game on.
Halfway towards what would be a huge win. A win which, because as I say, that situation where Spellman takes on Parry would pretty much put him there.
60.
It's not quite fact for fact, but it'd be very hard for him not to qualify.
Yeah, the other thing, a win for McDonough would mean that that scenario where everyone can finish on 10 points would then be rendered impossible because you've got Brian Rahman already on 10. Ronan McDonough would move on to 10, and they've got to play each other in the penultimate match tonight.
60. $140.
Big back-to-back
60.
visits, though, for Alex Spellman.
140.
Absolutely no reaction whatsoever for
44.
Spellman, just keeping those emotions in check whilst at the hockey.
$100. Alex, you require 96.
Double 8 to bring it back to 2-1. Doesn't
80.
go. McDonough
Ronan, you require
looking at the
164.
164 to open up a 3-0 lead. It's not to be, and so Spellman will return. Looking at 2-8
58.
to reduce
Alex, you
the
require
gap.
16. Game shot in the third leg. Alex Spellman.
No mistake there, and a bit of a sarcastic raise of the arm because he did have chances
leg, it's
in the
Alex
other
to throw
legs, but
first.
couldn't
Game on.
complete the task.
$81. $54.
I have to say, when Alex beat Barstow by 4 legs
60.
to 1 and the convincing nature in which he won that game, I know he wasn't mathematically through, but we didn't think that he'd find himself, or we'd see him embroiled in
100.
this kind of battle to hang on to a Saturday night spot.
No, you could make the argument with the opening 2 matches really put Spellman in the driving seat and Roman on the back foot.
140.
But fortunes have changed for both players as the night's gone on.
How the tables have turned.
100. $100.
But Spellman on course here to level it up at 2-all.
60. Alex, you require 120.
And all of a sudden, the quick start that McDonough's made may well be cancelled out. It's double top. We're back
Game
on
shot in the
terms.
fourth leg. Alex Spellman.
2-2 with a 120 checkout, which puts Alex Spellman back
Fifth leg
in
is Ronan to
control,
throw
or at least
first. Game on.
back in a position where he could control his destiny a bit better.
95.
So a win for Ronan in this game would send
140.
both himself and Brian Roman through because of the fact that Spellman and Parry play in the final game of the night. As I say, that would be a
100.
shootout match to determine the final player that will make it through. And it would exterminate someone else from the competition.
$99. $83.
Slip with the last from Spellman. You feel that Ronan McDonough should be on a finish after this. Well, he will be, and that's a big last start.
107 required for a 3-2 lead, and to put him and Brian Roman both one away.
Ronan, you require 107.
And Spellman's left himself a 169, so he's going to get the luxury of 6. He may only need the 3. He does
Game
only
shot
need
in
the
the fifth
3.
leg, Ronan
That
McDonough.
107 goes, and Ronan McDonough is a leg away from tomorrow night's final and keeping up his ever-present record of qualifying
Sixth
through
leg,
to the
Alex
final
to throw
night of
first. Game
competition.
on.
A 15-dart hole to throw, and you feel that Spellman's going to have to try and produce something similar if he's going to force a last leg decider.
59.
Unable to locate a big treble, but McDonough's found 2. Is it 3?
140.
But I think after seeing Spellman only hit 59, the 140. He'll be happy enough with that.
68.
Ronan McDonough has a lion tattooed on his left arm, and he's showing the heart of a lion here.
60. $54. 97.
Spellman still battling to get back in
83.
the leg.
Ronan McDonough, 6 starts away from QUALIFIED for tomorrow night.
All of a sudden I've been transported to a spelling bee.
82.
What's going on?
Ronan, you require 108.
Well, this Ronan McDonough's moment. He had a 107 in the previous leg. Can he qualify through the 108? He's got a dart at tops to do
68.
so, but cannot find.
Alex, you require 155.
Yeah, last match we saw a defiant 156 from Rahman. Spellman looking for a 155. It's one dart in hand, double 19 for 3 apiece.
117.
Just south of the target.
Ronan, you require
Well, that would have been
40.
check out of the week if it went when you consider the context of it. But this for another Saturday night. He's
Game
becoming
show
a
and the match,
specialist in
Ronan
doing
McDonough.
exactly that. Ronan McDonough knows he's through, and he has taken Brian Rahman with him. We're going to see that man from the Republic of Ireland, and we're going to see the brilliant Belgian on Saturday evening. And we're going to have to wait till game 10 to realise who is going to join them. Kurt Parry takes on Chaz Barstow next.
$54. Charlie require 164. $44. $32. Charlie require 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls at this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
require
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
It's a moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the
81.
stage,
Charlie
approaching the
require
Oki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
require
he's gone to
180.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust, and
39.
on that situation there, George Gay wasn't even
9.
able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
59. Charlie
Threw the entire
require
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
George require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Go
Couldn't get the job
it.
done.
Got in the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Skate.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skate!
Welcome back to Modus Super Series. And before the break, Ronan McDonough qualified him and Brian Roman through to tomorrow night's final, courtesy of a 4-2 victory over Alex Spellman, who will take on Kurt Parry in Game 10. And it could well be it is going to be a determining match to see who's going to make it through to Saturday's finale. For
First leg is Kurt.
Chaz Barstow, the determination for him will be to try and not finish his campaign in Portsmouth pointless. Still yet to win a game, and this his final crack at
45.
picking up some points. He was probably better tonight, but I suppose at the big moments he's had
96.
opportunities at a double, he's kind of found himself wanting, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been a difficult couple of nights for Chaz Barstow, and I think
59.
sometimes you just have to just chalk that one up to a bit of experience and just say, yeah, it didn't quite go for me on this occasion, but we know
86.
well, just look at how many times Chaz Barstow's been here. This is, what, 13th campaign? He's picked up weekly
95.
titles.
Yeah, there's not many players that have played more times than Chaz Barstow has here. In fact,
100.
there's only a handful of players that have. He levels Jared Cole on 13 appearances.
162.
And the only players with more than him is Neil Duff, Robert Thornton, who now actually breaks the record for most appearances with 16, who
139.
moves above Lee
Kurt, you
Cox.
require 140. 100. Chaz, you require 80.
So Barstow looking at 80. For the break and a 1-0 lead. Double top.
Game shot in
In
the
it
first
goes
leg.
into
Chaz
the
Barstow.
corner. Barstow breaks and moves 1-0 up.
And what has
Second leg is
been a
Chaz
marked
to throw
improvement,
first.
especially
Game
towards
up.
the tail end of tonight, has been the finishing from Chaz Barstow.
140.
Those kind of short combination finishes. We saw the 73, the 68 in the match before, the 80 there.
66.
But Kurt Parry, the only player with 2 games left to play,
59.
this one and then match 10 against Alex Spellman. Really does have it all to do and made a really strong start.
100.
I think he would have felt really confident after that demolition job on Brian Roman, 4 legs to 0, but just goes to show how quickly these tables can
76.
change.
And the thing is, he's only halfway through his night. He's played 2 of the last 3 games. That's how strange this group can feel. And
140.
actually, the emotional helter-skelter that we've had all night long really has tilted like a balancing scale, because when Parry beat Roman, we thought, okay, Kurt could put himself in a
123.
really good position here, and Brian could be in a bit of trouble. Well, Brian's currently top of the group. Him and Ronan McDonough comfortably through now. And all of a sudden, Kurt
140.
Parry's the one
Chaz, you require
that's
103.
staring at elimination in the face. Particularly if Chazarino can find a big
Game shot in the second
finito,
leg, Chaz
and that's
Barstow.
exactly what he does with the 103-no.
I wonder
Third leg,
if
it's
Chaz
Kurt to
Barstow
throw
has ever been
first.
called
Game up.
Chazarino before.
Well, he has now.
100.
That might well be the worst nickname I've ever given anyone, and goodness me, it's an exhaustive list.
Yeah, the bar isn't particularly high on
99.
Let's say the Castleford Tiger's okay, Spivey Man maybe isn't. Hi Samuel, if you are
140.
watching. I hope one day we can be friends.
56.
Well, we mentioned earlier on in the evening
91.
for Chaz Barstow to have qualified, he would have had to have realistically gone through the card, and even then that might not have been enough. But he can still play this role of spoiler.
140. Kurt, you require 170.
Needs a spark, you feel. But the 170 isn't going to be the
92.
lightning of the blue touch paper for Kurt Parry.
$70. Kurt, you require 78. $58.
Well, that was to get a foothold.
Treasure
He can't find the tops.
136.
And this would be killer if Barstow could find this.
Kurt Parry is averaging just over 99, and that dart at tops was the
60.
first dart he's
Kurt, you
had
require
at a double.
20.
All game. But he
Game
makes
shot
no
in the
mistake
third
in the
leg,
double
Kurt
10.
Parry.
Still in the contest, 2-1.
Fourth leg is Chaz to throw first. Game on.
Looks rather flat in the background, does Kurt? Just
99.
looks like sometimes he's a player. Look, he doesn't give much away in terms of emotion, but it's just felt
140.
like hard work for the most part of this group. And even when he's played well, we thought maybe there's an opportunity, or maybe he's just beginning to play himself into a rhythm.
99.
Something's happened just to stop him from then striding away.
For me, I think it's, if you think about it, it's things that have been out of his control, I
92.
think, that he's probably found quite difficult. Because as we've mentioned, in terms of the matches played, this is the halfway point for him. This is game 3, and he's got 1 left to go. But now it's a position where there's only 1 space left to get.
32.
So he knows that these last 2 games, there's even more emphasis on them than there probably was after his first couple of games.
99.
He's almost playing 2 campaigns, if you get where I'm coming from, in the respect of he played a couple of games early on. He's had that break, and now he's almost having to go again, putting 2 games in right at the very end of the
Kurt, you
session.
require 170.
A very weird scenario to be involved in.
60. Chaz, you require 138.
And sometimes when you find yourself in this situation, you just think the darting gods are conspiring against you. You have to kind of find a way out of
58.
the
Kurt, you
kind of
require
slump that you
110.
find yourself in. Not that you can call a 98 average anywhere near a slump, but it's these kind of moments that have just
70.
evaded him.
Chaz, you require 80.
It's been when it's come to things that feel almost like this and that, the moments that define the margins.
60.
But that
Kurt, you
could be
require 40.
something that transpires into his favour. Miss
Game
from
shot in the
Barstow,
fourth there,
a
Kurt
hit from
Parry.
Kurt, and we are back at a level game. 2-2.
Fifth leg, it's Kurt to throw first. Game on.
And I imagine Kurt Parry would have sighed a big breath of relief there, because
81.
such a big swing leg in terms of a race to 4, the difference of being 3-1 down or levelling up at 2 apiece. Now you feel you're really back in the
140.
match.
And the fact he's got to 2 legs means that even if he loses this
96.
game, it's not an overall disaster. If he wins it, it will be as simple as knockout.
125.
The man against McDonough, by the way, is to determine who wins the group. And remember, Ronan was 7-1 before dart was thrown tonight
100.
to win Group B.
$120.
Did well to recover. It was a violent bounce out with the second.
180. Chaz, you require
What
116.
timing. That is from Kurt Parry. First 180 of the game at a crucial time. Or is it going to be Academic? Tots of Barstow.
Game
He's
shot on
done
the
it
fifth there,
again.
Chaz Barstow.
Another big finish from Chaz Barstow
Six
to
Chaz
keep
to throw
Kurt
first,
Parry
game
at bay.
$57.
Chaz Barstow
92.
potentially looking to end his Group B campaign in a way that I think a lot of us thought he may have kicked it off.
96.
But if you're Kurt Parry and in this situation and you have got this one player that hasn't picked up any points, I think that's another thing where you feel like just
135.
nothing's quite going your way. Everything's just being made harder than it has to be.
Well, I said that if Chaz Barstow beats someone, he can't go through,
59.
but the likelihood is he sends out the person that he beats. Well, he certainly puts Kurt Parry behind the 8 ball.
100.
Loses it, then we get to scoreline required stages for KP.
41.
But having been broken in the previous one, is in a very strong position to break back.
58. $56. Kurt, you require 116.
We would have seen Chaz Barstow just find this. And again, it's just that one occasional loose start at the wrong time. It's not a complete disaster.
42.
But you can see it's causing Kurt Parry a great deal of frustration.
$135. Kurt, you require 74.
For last leg decider, double top is found
shot
by
the sixth
Kurt
there,
Parry.
Kurt
3-3
Parry.
it is. And this leg means nothing more than just 2 points because it's not actually going to change any outcome. It's still going to be a shootout in the last, and Chaz Barstow's still heading up the M27. However, be careful of those
137.
pesky roadworks. I don't know whether he's heard, but half of the motorway is shut this evening for repairs.
57. $68. $134.
It's a big response from Chaz Barstow.
Got to give credit here to Chaz because it could have been so easy
81.
when you consider the situation he's in, just to not down tools, but almost let the head drop a little bit. And he hasn't done that once. He's never let any kind of
140.
negative emotion come outward, even though inside he must be absolutely seething with the situation.
I think with Chaz, he's that
30.
kind of player, that kind of
Chaz, you require
personality, and that was a
170.
disaster for Parry. A single 20 would have meant he was on the big fish, but now Chaz Barstow's found a way of getting 6 from 170 in a massive last start again.
77 to win 4-3.
65.
This leg
Chaz, you
actually
require
isn't irrelevant for
77.
Kurt Parry, but in terms of what it does for the group campaign, but what it does do is put him on the back foot when he takes on Alex Spellman in the last. If Barstow can convert tops,
57.
can't do
Kurt,
so.
you require 120.
Absolute disaster. Just when you needed to say, stay straight, and you would say that to yourself, it's just
44.
gone wide.
Chaz, you require 20.
So it's double 10 for Barstow to win 4-3.
Game shot.
And
the
it's
match,
double
Chaz
10
Barstow.
for Barstow to at least get a win out of this group campaign. It did not work in the slightest for him at Modus Super Series 12. Provided he doesn't get a tour card, we'll see him in 2026. That's the tail of the tape. A couple of Tub Plus checkouts for Chaz Barstow, but that game actually didn't mean anything in the end. Brian Man takes on Ronald McDonough. This is for Top Honours next.
There have been one or two what people might call controversial
Oh
moments.
God, yeah, I've been involved in a lot of them. Yeah.
Are there any that spring to
Not
mind?
as many as me. Oh, you're slim then. What's he? Good looking lad.
Oh God, I don't know about that. I
What
don't
went
know
wrong?
about that. Is this scar for real? I said, what do you want me to do? So then I just lost the crop then, didn't I? So
Rotterdam went 4-0 up against Marco van Gerwen, and it was something like 16,000. And 15,999 were whistling and jeering me. They were calling me names in Dutch. I had to come off and Google what they were calling me.
Yeah, Phil Taylor and Adrian Lewis were in audience last Saturday here at the Live Lounge, and you can watch some of the best bits of that soon here on Pluto TV. Plenty of stories to dissect from the pair's illustrious careers. Plenty to dissect here on Pluto TV, where we go into the final couple of games with two things to be determinated. The winner of this game will win the group. The winner of the next game will head through as the third place player. So Spellman against Parry will confirm the final place through. These two looking for the bragging rights and an extra few pounds in the pocket going into Saturday evening. And it looks like things are rather relaxed
First
ahead of
is
this
Brian to
final
go first.
meeting between Brian Mann and Rona
Game
McDonough.
on.
So it should be jobs done. Just about trying to finish top of the group now.
Yeah, and this was a fixture
42.
yesterday we picked out because both these players, they do have a rather fiery character. We thought, because of the way that things were panning out
60.
on the table was going, that this could be a game that determined who went through and who didn't. As it stands, as mentioned, this is now just jostling
100.
for position, and it all comes down to game 10 between Spellman and Parry.
92.
Alex Spellman was actually the favourite tonight to win the group. The man was second favourite at 6-4, but
100.
Rona McDonough was 7-1 with the compiler of odds to
60.
finish at the top of the pile come the end of play this evening. That 7-1 may well have represented good value if you
59.
had a flutter. 18 plus, gambleaware.org, of course, if you're having a bet on the Super Series. In fact, it's been a week where the bookmakers have definitely won because you had
59.
the big outsider winning Group A, Stein de Klerk, who won at 16-1 in that particular group.
65.
Maybe didn't quite have the kind of success with Carl Wilkinson that they would have wanted, but if Rona McDonough wins at 7-1, they would have cleaned up so far this week.
140. Brian, you require 135.
For man looking at 135. To be
95.
McDonough
Ronan, you require 90.
hoping to get at least the insurance of a dart at the bull, which he's going to have to take with a man sat on tops. When he gets the boosted bonus double 5,
85.
which moves inside.
Brian, you require 40.
Tops now 10s for a man.
30. Ronan,
Perhaps
you
not enjoying
require
as much
5.
success with the tops and 10s targets as he has been on the 16s and 8s, and it's 2-2 for Ronan
Game
McDonough.
shot in the first leg.
And it's
Ronan
an early
McDonough.
break, a throw.
Early break, 1-0 lead for the man
Second
from the
leg is
Republic of
Ronan to
Ireland, who will
throw
be
first.
hoping that third time is the charm for him. A final, a semi-final, can
Game
he
on.
find that elusive win?
Well, 140.
now Chaz Barstow's no longer in the equation. It will be a new player lifting up a title this week.
96.
All 6 in the finals, yes. For the ones that have been here before, they have gone deep, they have come close, but none of them actually crossed the line.
60.
Yeah, Stein will be looking to lift the cup for the very first time.
85.
Wilkinson looking to be a cut above the rest.
44. 100.
The Riddler looking to come up with all the answers.
I'm going to wait until you go through the whole field. Do you know that?
97.
I'm trying to think of something that goes with Brandon, I'll be honest with you. I need to stop doing this to myself.
60.
Need to stop doing it to us.
160.
Both players at 160. McDonough for 2-0 is not going to find his particular effort. What can Roman do with
100.
his?
Brian, you require 160.
Another. Yes. Tops. Yes.
Shot in the second leg. Brian Roman.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I feel like you've dragged me slightly into your
Third
world
leg
here,
is
but
Brian to
something
throw
along the lines
first.
of
Game on.
Brandon trying to, you know, stamp his mark, as in brand on.
Oh,
100.
yes, yes, yes.
$59.
Parry looking to carry the hopes of Wales.
100.
Parry's still got some work to do if Alex Spellman's got any say in it.
97. $39. $137. $56.
Yeah, this meeting between these two yesterday was, compared to some of the other matches, it was a rather subdued match. It was Brahman that won 4-2 in the end.
126.
Man, looking at 126. Not another one. Not another one.
101.
The bullseye
Brian,
not
you
found, though.
require 108.
Well, you could hear the audible yelp from McDonough there,
68. Brian, you require 25.
akin to a weep.
Game shot in the third leg. Brian
As a
Roman.
man finds the 25 to move 2-1 to the good in the game.
Fourth leg is Ronan to throw first. Game on. $59. $60.
If you look at the stats at
135.
Roman and in Group A, and I know he was disappointed not to have had that automatic
140.
qualification spot in Group A, ended up finishing second. The biggest improvement has to be in those finishing stats.
180.
Blind 180. Little bit cheeky. And look what it's left.
99. Ronan, you require
Yeah,
127.
we've had the max. Will we see the 127? A laugh between the two players. But again, just looking to set up. Needs to find the
27.
adjustment. Couldn't quite work it out.
Does leave himself on a square tongue, but leaves himself susceptible.
And this is a shot, I'm sure, if Rahman was going for it, you'd be
94.
looking at the
Ronan, you
bullseye.
require
Yeah,
100.
yes, and to be honest, the way this game's been played, you wouldn't be surprised either. But this is rather more
Game shot in the fourth leg.
conventional,
Ronan
and
McDonough.
that's well taken. That puts Ronan McDonough level at 2-2.
Fifth leg is Brian to throw first. Game on.
Please do correct me if I'm wrong, but this feels like one of those matches. It's a bit of a breakathon. No one able
85.
to hold throwers yet.
Yeah, it's been a good fun watch this. Actually, just having a little look over
59.
some Super Series stats. And incredibly, there's never ever been a Belgian
96.
player in a Champions Week here at the Super Series, which was staggering for a nation of that size in terms of the darting landscape.
59.
Brian's made a final. Andy Bartons has made a final. And there wasn't really much he could do in that final because the other bloke hit
100.
117.88 average against him. 16 Belgians have played. See, I should have left that as a tungsten
57.
teaser, shouldn't I?
Yeah, the teaser would be to name them all, surely.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hard task at 12:30 at night.
180.
But that wasn't a hard task for Brian.
$100.
Well, I
Brian,
said
you
no one had been able
require
to
40.
hold throw, but Roman looks like he's about to do so.
Game shot in the fifth
Again,
leg. Brian
effortless on the outer ring.
Yeah, 14 data, 3-2 in front. Is this one of
Six
those
leg is running to
games
throw
where
first, game
you
up.
get a fist bump? No, you get a fist bump.
It's played in good spirits.
66.
It's like I've always said about the group stages. Yes, we love all the moments. We've had a 9 data this week. We've had big checkouts, big moments. But for these players, the goal is just to
58.
make it through to Saturday's finals. And for these two, they know that job's done. So they are able to
125.
play with a little bit less of the intensity that you might have seen if this was a kind of do or die match.
And I think they're the type of players, yeah, winning the group would be a
99.
bonus, but for them it was just about getting through regardless of position, and then tomorrow's the big money night.
Well, the way you finish in the group, it does dictate as to what group you're going into the next day. But like you say, at this point in proceedings, it's just about getting through.
140.
And to be perfectly honest, you look at the way that this week pans out, I don't think there's any advantage or disadvantage being in any group whatsoever. I think on
94.
paper it's so
Running to
evenly
require
matched.
170.
And how often do we say that?
Oh, bullseye!
140.
Well, he got the line, but the length was just too high.
$58.
These two,
Ronan,
they
you require
play at
30.
such a pace.
$22.
But even at this later stage in proceedings, Ronan McDonough not taking any risks, decided to
100.
split, not go
Ronan,
straight
you
for the double
require
15, and
8.
now finds himself on 8.
2 twos, and a failure to find means that Brian is
you
back
require 92.
to win this match and to top the group.
$60.
A rare miss for
Ronan,
Brian
you
Roman on
require
double
2.
16, affords another chance here for Ronan McDonough. High across with the first, and a
Game shot
great
in the sixth
adjustment
leg,
with the
Ronan
second, and we
McDonough.
go all the way.
7th and final leg, it's Brian to throw first. Game up.
I get the sense these two have enjoyed one another's company this week.
I get the sense that they're
140.
two players playing with both the relief and the knowledge, knowing that it is job done. Just gives you that extra bit of freedom when you're playing up there, and it's really
137.
not hindered anything in terms of performance.
Yeah, I don't think you would have seen that kind of hugging game
91.
10 if it went all the way to a last leg decider.
We shall see.
96.
One more game remaining, one more spot remaining. Alex Spellman, Kurt Parry. Not long to wait before
60.
their fate in Group B is decided.
Yeah, that will be the final qualifying match that we see in the first week of Super Series 12. We're into
55.
Saturday already, but who is going to stay on and play when it comes to 7:30 in the
43.
evening? Well, we've already seen Brian take this finish out in this group.
43.
We saw it from
Brian,
him
you require
yesterday against Chaz
167.
Barstow. And look what McDonough's left.
131.
Narrowly
Ronan, you
missed
require
earlier on in the
170.
match. First treble in. Can't find the second, but does find the
130.
bullseye. There is
Brian,
the
you
irony.
require 36.
Typical. And that's not lost on him. For the
shot,
game's
and
lost.
that's Brian Roman.
And for Brian Roman, he is the winner of Group B. A warm embrace between the pair at the end of that one. It is Roman who wins Group B, having got the better of Ronan McDonough by 4 legs to 3. That's the tail of the tape in that particular contest. The final one will determine the final spot through. And it's a meeting between Alex Spellman and Kurt Parry. you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So we see the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor? One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Littler! So, final game of the group about to commence. Brian the Man has won it, 12 points to his name. Ronan McDonough seconded it with 10 points to his name. And Alex Spellman and Kurt Parry go head-to-head here in the final game of the group. Now, irrespective of the score, in fact, the league table is kind of irrelevant for these two because this is a knockout game. The winner finishes third, the loser goes home from the league position. In fact, actually, Alex Spellman could actually move up to second position if he can win this game by 4-1 or 4-0 scoreline, but he won't be thinking about that. He'll just be thinking about winning this group irrespective of the scoreline. Knockout darts begins now. It begins a session early as Spellman takes on Kurt. It is America up against Wales in the final pool stage match of the first week.
Alex to throw first.
Here
Game
at
on.
Super Series 12. Question is, Laura, who is going to get that final place through? And I'm not going to put you under the spot and ask you to give out a name because it feels virtually impossible to say when you consider the context of this group and the context of this night.
45.
Yeah, and I think this is where you have to kind of put yourself in the position of these two players. Yes, they have met already. Yes, that was the opening game of Group B. All of that, what's happened before, is all irrelevant. As you say, it just comes down to this one match. For Spellman, he would have seen his fellow countryman, his pairs partner from last week, and Jason Brandon go through via the Group C route earlier on. And I'm sure he's more than keen to join him in finals night tomorrow. But out of the two, I think it's Spellman that possibly may be putting himself under a little bit more pressure, because he was the one coming into this group in a much better position, and also the player who kicked off proceedings this evening with a 4-1 win, putting himself in prime position. I think he'll be scratching his head a little bit more than Kurt Parry as to how he's found himself here.
Because as I say, after that game against Chose Barstow, it did look like a certainty he'll make it through, but he looked as if he was the one that had the vulnerable path through. But that is how things can change. Now, very scrappy first leg. Perhaps that's understandable given the context of things. Both players throughout the course of this group have outwardly
33
had an outlook which has not painted a positive picture at times.
98
leaves Parry on the big fish.
No, I agree. I think both these players have just demonstrated moments where we've seen absolute brilliance from them.
135.
We've also seen some real untimely misses, but that was a timely 135 from Alex Spellman.
Forced the issue of Kurt Parry, who was not up to the task. And so this 60 for Spellman to draw first blood. Double top it is.
Game shot in the first
Smack
leg.
bang in the middle. First blood to Alex Spellman.
Second leg, it's Kurt to throw first. Game on.
I get the sense if he gets through tonight and then managed to prevail tomorrow evening, this would be one of his hardest fought successes in the game. Because for Alex, it has not been plain sailing at all this week. Wasn't plain sailing last week, but
100.
if he can get through this, he would have managed to have found a way. And sometimes that could be the
140
greatest way of typifying and summing up sports people, is maybe not so much when they're absolutely at their pompous best, but it's when the chips are down, when suddenly things aren't quite in your favour. How do you respond to that kind of adversity? And just like they say in the Rocky films, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you get hit and then come back stronger.
180.
Well, this is a strong comeback in leg 2 for Kurt Parry, down to 41 after just 9 darts.
And I can tell you now, the Parry fan club are watching on very nervously. But they'll be very happy with that. A 12-dart response to square the game up at 1 apiece. What was a best of 7 has turned into a best of 5.
Alex to throw first. Game on.
And I think for Kurt Parry, what he needs to do, because we've seen him throw 11 darts, 12 darts, you've mentioned it throughout the course of the last couple of days, but he does it on throw. And this is a match where he's going to have to find something big against the darts.
41.
Just when he had an opening against the darts, he's come up dry himself.
140.
You have to say, whichever of these two comes through this match, they would have felt like they've been through the ringer tonight.
And also, let's put the other perspective on it.
45.
The loser of this game is a big player to have knocked out before Saturday night.
59. $101.
And again, just a good example of board management from Alex Spellman.
140. Alex, you require 170.
Well, both players on 3-figure finishes. Spellman first poke at the big fish. He's not going to find it. So Parry, 121. Just one big trouble required for a poke at the bull.
41. Kurt, you require 121.
An ironic smile as it sails into the 1. It's treble 17 required for the ball for a 1-2-1 checkout.
81. Alex, you require 129.
Well, that could prove to be a happy accident if he is afforded an opportunity back to the oche.
bullseye. That
94.
diverts wide as
Kurt, you
well. And
require
so
40.
this is the break opportunity that Kurt Parry's been craving.
Game shot
And
the
he
third
finds
leg,
the
Kurt
double top.
Parry.
He moves 2-1 up. And the pendulum now swings in the favour of the Welshman.
Fourth leg is Kurt to throw first. Game up. $180.
And at a time where this is possibly the most pressurised game for these two players this week, Kurt Parry, his throw is holding up under
81.
the weight of that pressure.
He's putting on the afterburners here. And there's a gulf between the players in terms of the average. Just under 80 for Alex Spellman, 95.77 for Kurt Parry at this present moment in time. He's finding close to an A-level performance when he needs it. For Alex Spellman, it's not happening at all.
43. $85.
Alex Spellman now finding himself really on the back foot. Needs another one of those.
100.
Has to settle
Kurt, you
for a
require
ton.
139.
Well, at this present moment in time,
97.
there doesn't seem any sign that the Parry party in Pompey is going to be curtailed.
$57. Kurt, you require 42.
Double 16 to go within one.
10.
Well, those misses matter not. At least not right now anyway. But if Spellman can find something conducive here, then it will just apply a bit of pressure. But that's 30 scored. 2 treble fives for those first 2 darts.
90.
And my goodness, does he get his way out of jail with that last one.
Game shot.
But
the fourth
all
leg,
academic
Kurt
in the
Parry.
end. Kurt Parry now removes within one of the match and one of a place in tomorrow's finals.
Fifth leg, it's Alex to throw
3-1
first. Game on.
to the goods. 1 leg from qualification.
$59.
That first dart was only ever going to be
180.
conducive to one thing, and that's a max.
Parry piling on the pressure. And Spellman just searching.
125.
It's a solid response from Alex Spellman.
96.
Look at the fluency of the Kurt Parry throw. I think he knows the finishing line's in sight, and he's beginning to make a bit of a run towards it. We saw it, didn't we, with Team Wales last week at the international pairs. It took a while to get going, but when the finishing line approached in the week, they got better and better and better.
He's back in again.
123. Alex, you require
But a max from
137.
Spellman leaves him enough chance here. 137 the target, and not going to go.
However, because that final dart slipped into the treble 1, it's a 3-figure
59.
finish for Kurt.
You require 102.
But this is for Saturday night. He's going to get a dart. A double 16.
70.
Not there
Alex,
yet.
you require 78.
One match dart come and gone for Kurt Parry. Double 9.
69.
Just the wrong side.
Kurt, you require
Well, is that the
32.
end of Alex's spell here in Portsmouth? Because Kurt Parry's looking at double 16
Game
to
start
send
and the match,
himself
Kurt Parry.
through to Saturday night. But my word, was it hard work for the Welshman. Kurt Parry is the final name into the week 1 Saturday night jigsaw, and he does so at the expense of Alex Spellman. He shakes his head because he knows it was hard work at times. It'll be more relief than anything else that he's qualified through. He's done so with a 4-1 win over Alex Spellman. Reaction and analysis to come on the other side of this short break. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where before the break, Kurt Parry got over the line and is the last player to qualify through to finals night tomorrow evening, having got the better of Alex Spellman by 4 legs to 1. Brian O'Man and Ronan McDonough, the other two qualifiers. Brian winning 4-3 in his final game against Ronan to ensure that he's won the group. We can confirm everything. We can dot some I's and cross some T's for you now. Brian O'Man top of the table on 12 points. Ronan McDonough through on 10. Kurt Parry getting the better of Alex Spellman in that last game decider to determine his spot through to Saturday evening showdown. At expense of Spellman, Chaz Barstow bottom of the group, and as you can see, Kurt's joined myself and Laura in the studio. Many congratulations, Kurt. You're not one for doing things routine, are you?
No, I like to make it hard for myself. Yeah, just happy to get through in the end. That's the goal when you come here. It's just get through to Saturday, just about. But yeah, who knows what'll happen tomorrow.
Relief felt like the overriding emotion out there when you got the job done against Alex.
Yeah, it's just weird to feel comfortable in that game where I didn't most of the night, but it was probably the most important game of the night. So yeah, a bit of a positive there, but scraping through, and we'll see what happens.
It must have felt weird emotionally throughout the course of the evening, because there was times where everybody looked as if they're in trouble, somebody else looked as if you're in a good position, particularly after the way things started against Brian. You must have felt really positive about things. Then you had that bit of a break where all the results kind of went against you a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to those other results, but yeah, just was great against Brian. I took my opportunities, didn't really give him any, which you can't really, because when he gets that opportunity, he usually takes them, like the 156 against Chaz, I think. Maybe shouldn't have had that opportunity, but took it. And yeah, just try to focus on my own game, try to win all 4. Didn't happen, but I won enough.
And sometimes that's all it is, isn't it? Just doing enough?
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting through and seeing how it goes.
I'll tell you what, it was a crazy night, wasn't it? From the first game to the last, there were so many different conversations about who could be in trouble, who might not be in trouble, and maybe at the beginning of the night, would that be the 3 we thought would go through? Possibly, but not in the way that it happened.
Well, to be fair, out of all of them, I think we thought Alex, especially after the way he started, we thought Alex was, on course to going through as well. But as I said, as the night went on, results just went against him, and it went all the way down to the wire. And ultimately, it was Kurt's throw that just kind of withstood that pressure, because it was the most pressurised game and probably your best game of the evening.
Probably, yeah. Which is weird, really. But yeah, I'll take it every day.
It was interesting because we were kind of mentioning commentary, because it was a kind of a similar feel last week with you and Richie when you were playing for Wales at the Pairs, that the first portion of the pool stages of the week, it was there, but it wasn't all clicking together. Then suddenly when it got to the more knockout stage of proceedings, you began to find some better stuff.
Yeah, I think just naturally you seem to have a different mindset in knockout. You lose and you're out, so there's a little bit more maybe of an instinct there, I don't know, but hopefully it comes in tomorrow and I can go a bit further than usual.
Because,
Don't mention it.
Which means one thing and one thing only. I'm going to mention it. But look, we know how good your record is here. Does it begin to get annoying when that question does get asked?
Really, no. I'm just sort of playing a bit of fun there, but I think to make finals here, to make Saturdays are tough, but to make finals, and to be fair, the people who I've lost to in the finals, they've played well against me in them finals. I maybe haven't been quite myself, but especially the last two, they pulled out something really decent, so I can't really complain too much, but it would be nice to win one.
I think the term knocking on the door is the one that springs to mind with Kurt.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's a conversation we've been having, because obviously with Chaz Barstow not being able to get through tonight, then we know that whoever lifts the title, it will be a first time for them. And yeah, it's hard not to make the argument for Kurt, with Kurt and his record here. I mean, only last week it was another final. It was a pairs final, but unfortunately it was a similar outcome.
Yes,
sorry.
It was. No, it's fine.
But the year as a whole has been absolutely superb for yourself, hasn't it? Obviously, a good record here, and we're maybe seeing a little bit more of you as well in other places that maybe in the few years before we haven't quite seen you in, particularly, I suppose, at the Challenge Tour arenas and stuff like that.
Yeah, and obviously playing the ADC tour. That's been a good opportunity for a lot of us, I think. So yeah, it's, I think, back down here in October, I think.
Yes, for the tour finals.
Yeah, so over the moon with the players that are there in that venue when we're playing them. To finish in the top 8 of the rankings was massive for me and a bit of a confidence boost. So hopefully can spiral on and maybe get a couple of wins.
And win that, you're in the global championship.
Yeah, I think that's been my target really, to try and get in there, because the opportunity again is massive, you know, and the money can change a lot for you as well. So yeah, we're trying and hopefully going to succeed.
We're getting to the business end of the season, aren't we, when we're talking about global championships and tour finals and stuff like that. When we get to the autumn, it gets to the crunch, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just darts and more darts, isn't it? But like you say, it's that last opportunity really for players to just reposition themselves, get themselves into the global championship, and really just have a real flourish towards the end of 2025. And it'll be, you know, it's going to be a stellar lineup with players that we've got in there already. But yeah, there's still a few more names to add.
Okay, we'll have a chat with you in just a second. Myself and Laura going to round up everything else that we have seen this evening. We'll kick off with Brian O'Man, who got the job done, tops the group overnight, and he had that little bit of a scare against Kurt at the beginning of the evening, but from that point onwards, it was rather businesslike from him.
Yeah, and again, it was the finishing that got him out of trouble. You've just seen the 1-5-6 there, and even when, you know, we thought maybe it was another match that he might just drop away from, he just finds another level, and yeah, he's been one of the most consistent performers of Group B.
As for Ronan McDonough, when push came to shove tonight, there was a real focus about him, wasn't there, right from the very first dart, and he got the job done that he needed to do.
Yeah, I think he was more than aware of the start he made yesterday. He lost his first couple of opening matches. He spoke to you, didn't he, and mentioned the fact that in one of those matches it was 17 missed darts at a double. That was living in the back of his mind. But what I liked from him, like you say, it was that pure focus. And even when he won the third game of the night to actually put himself and Brian O'Man through, he didn't know that at the time. That was something, so he was just playing for the win, and I think that was actually probably better. It's probably better for him not to know that was putting him through. And yeah, just the levels that he's got, I still think there's probably more to come from him.
And it's interesting because analysis has kind of been one of the key things we've spoken about this week, particularly with our chats of Alex Spellman and people like that. But for Ronan, he looks like a player, even though he's still rather new to this, despite his success, that actually he's able to pick things apart, and actually he's picking them apart as a positive as opposed to a negative, I suppose.
Yeah, he's got this almost raw natural talent, and he's honing his skills more and more each time he comes here. And as you say, he's looking at things. Yes, he's looking at the negatives, but he's also taking the positives, and that's all you can encourage someone to do. I mean, he had the 106, the big average. I mean, he did the nice casual 180. I don't think he'd be doing that if that was a match to decide who went through, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, again, really good performance, and one of the first players through tonight.
Well, let's have a look at the tournament breakdown then as we head through to Saturday night. So, Stein declared, well, he really was the story of the week, wasn't he? On Wednesday, when he won Group A, the Belgian making his way through. Carl Wilkinson and Jason Brandon got through Group C this afternoon. Brian O'Man, Ronan McDonough and Kurt Parry making their way through Group B. So this is how the groups look for tonight now. We're past midnight. Stein declared Ronan McDonough and Jason Brandon in Group 1, whilst Kurt is with Brian O'Man and Carl Wilkinson. They don't get any easier, Kurt, do they?
No, but most Saturday nights are tough anyway. So I think, yeah, it's going to be difficult. You just got to play and just try and win and do what you can.
Opportunity definitely knocks, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah, absolutely. Like I say, it's an opportunity for one of those players there to lift the title. There's never, like Kurt just said, there's never an easy group, but you are now getting to the business end, and it's one of those things. There's no more coming back. There's no more group stages. This is more like knockout darts and more what the players are used to. And
week one's becoming a very good week here because Jess Smith won the previous series on week one. Darius Labanauskas won from week one a couple of series ago. So look, there's an opportunity for someone to send out an instant statement of intent, shall we say.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, we like to find patterns in things, don't we? Whether that continues, that remains to be seen. But like you say, for one of those players, it's an opportunity just to get themselves into Champions Week. That's absolutely huge.
And for you, Kurt, it would be nice for us, if you were able to be successful tomorrow night, to never ask the question again.
Yeah, just for my own thing, I think, just to know that I can win a night is, I think that's the biggest thing for me. I feel like I got the game, but to actually do it is, then,
And just quickly, you got a little bit of a fan club coming tomorrow, right?
Yeah, got a couple coming up. Garin, Roderick, he's on his way up. He's probably sending me loads of messages saying, why didn't you get it done quicker? But yeah, Garin's bringing 1 or 2 up, I think. So yeah, should be nice to have some support there.
Right, look forward to watching you tomorrow night. Kurt, many congratulations.
Thank you.
You can rest easy now, Laura. Thank you so much for your company as ever. Plenty coming up across Pluto TV before we resume the action tomorrow evening. And funny enough, we're going to be chatting some more to Kurt Parry because he's in conversation with the Tungsten Talk. Luckily, Kurt, that was pre-recorded. We're not keeping you up here any longer. Then we've got the story of Luke Humphries coming. I mean, you can stay if you want to, but no, I'm going home as well. So I'm glad we've clarified that. Then the story of Luke Humphries at 1:10 tomorrow. Then Kurt Parry's going to be in finals night from 7:30. And then it's going to be his Welsh teammate who's going to be one of the stars of the show. Richie Burnett is going to be there on Monday from 9:30 a.m. as week 2 gets underway. I wonder what the Prince of Wales is going to provide us. So we'll be back tomorrow night where Roman solved the riddle, Ronan was superb, and Kurt, well, his Parry party continues in Pompey. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye from us.
The new Modus Super Series champion. Yes! What a finish! The silencer, Jeff Smith! And it is that shot wins week 6!
Maximum checkout.
He's done it!
14. You will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit!
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And he Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jurgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for tops or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Gablas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He is 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs one more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the one treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He kind of split it. 2 darts for double fourth in a match.
Game!